Alright, so now I'm going to talk about biotransformation, half-life of a drug, and also the pKa chart and how to make one and what it means. So I'm starting with biotransformation. This is basically metabolism. It's how a drug is chemically changed once it's in the body. So most of the biotransformation happens in the liver. This is either going to make a drug more active, less active, inactive, or even toxic. So it's not always good. But the end product is we're leaning towards getting a drug more polar, which means it is more ionized, which means it is more water soluble. So if a drug is more water soluble, it's going to be excreted better. If a drug is more lipid soluble or lipophilic, it's going to more easily cross the cell membrane. So that's when we're going to absorb it and it's not going to be excreted. We're going to keep it in the body. So biotransformation is the liver's duty to try and get a drug to be more polar so that we can excrete it. So usually this happens before we're going to excrete the drug in the urine, and that's when it needs to be more polar. So now I'm going to talk about half-life. Half-life of a drug is defined as the time it takes a drug to decrease its concentration by exactly 1/2. So it's not a hard concept, but knowing the half-life of a drug can tell you when you can administer that drug again, when it's going to be out of the system, how long it's going to last. So, for instance, pain medication, it's good to know the half-life so that you know when it's going to start wearing off and the animal or human is going to start showing signs of pain. So when we look at half-life for drugs being 2 to 4 hours, you're really going to want to make sure you know how that drug is being distributed in the body. If it is going into fat or muscles, it's going to stick around for a while, and if it's just leaving and it is being excreted because it's polar, then we're going to want to administer more if it's pain medication, and that needs to be done. So now I'm going to talk about the pKa of a drug. These things are all related. It's all pharmacokinetics. So pKa of a drug is, the definition is when the pH of the environment is perfect for that drug to be 50% ionized and 50% non-ionized. So when we're doing a pKa chart, we have to be given information to know whether it's going to be better absorbed in an acid environment or better absorbed in an alkaline environment. Acid environment being most commonly the stomach, and a more alkaline environment being the intestines. So when we are given a drug saying the pKa is 5, that has nothing to do with the pH of the drug or how it's going to be absorbed in any environment. The pKa is just stating the pH of the environment, not the drug, when the drug is 50% ionized and 50% non-ionized. So then we know where to start on our chart when we're making one. So I do have an example. Maybe not. Let's see. So I have an example here. If the pKa is 4 and it is a weak acid, we're going to make a chart looking something like this. And at the number 4 over here on the pH, the ionized to non-ionized is going to be 1:1. That's an equal ratio, like I said, 50% ionized to 50% non-ionized. And then, because it's a weak acid, we are going to increase the numbers by 10 on the side of non-ionized towards the lower pH. Lower pH is acid, so that's going to be these numbers up here, lower pHs, acids, and we are going to increase this side by intervals of 10 because this is a weak acid. So it is going to become more non-ionized as the drug is put into an acid environment, because non-ionized, again, means it is going to be more lipophilic or more easily cross the cell membrane, which is what we want for a drug to be absorbed. So this particular drug, phenoxybenzamine, is going to be better absorbed in the stomach, which is the more acidic environment out of stomach or intestines. I think that's all I'm going to do today. If you need any help on this, just let me know in the comments below or message me, and I'll be around to help. I'll see you next video.